Um, One of the great privileges I've had in my career was getting to know one of my childhood idols, Ray Charles. Um, Again, a guy whose music I grew up on, and I don't think there was ever an artist I admired more than him. I remember first hearing his voice, and it was like a light went on. That there was a whole other language, that human beings could communicate by, and that somehow he had that voice. He didn't have just a beautiful voice, but he had that kind of a window to his soul voice that allowed all of us to see a part of him and feel a part of him, and take a piece of his heart and soul to ourselves, and embrace it for that moment that we were hearing him sing, and I'd never heard an artist like that other than maybe Nat Cole, and I remember thinking Frank Sinatra was one of those singers, but then when I heard Ray Charles, that was kind of it for me, Got to work with Ray a couple times over the years, which was always a thrill, but it was mostly I just got to see, I was one of the artists on a show, a tribute to him, and we all got to say hello, and wasn't really much of an exchange, but it was a thrill nonetheless to meet him. And I remember thinking, God, if my friends, the guys I grew up with, who listened to Ray Charles with me all those years, could see me now, And it came to be years later. There was a show done. Yamaha. I was the guest of honor at one of the Yamaha tribute shows, and a friend of mine who was producing the show didn't tell me for a while, and then he surprised me because Ray's going to do the show, Ray Charles, and because he knew how much I admired Ray, and I couldn't believe it, that Ray would do the show, and he came down to rehearsal that day, and it was surreal, for me, and in ways I can't describe. We got to sing some songs together, some of my old favorites of his. He played the piano a little bit, and I sang along, and we laughed, and just were having a great time, and I was just so surprised that he was even aware of my music. And he said, "Man, the song," and he was going to do a song that night, and I knew the song, and it was a Carole King, Jerry Goffin song, a beautiful song called "Hey Girl," but he thought I had written it, and so a lot of the admiration I was feeling from him was really based on that song, and that he thought I had actually written that song. And when he made it known to me that he thought it was one of the best songs I will ever have written, I remember saying, "Well, gosh, how do I say this? How do I break it to him?" And I said, "Well, Ray, actually, I didn't write that song. That's a Carole King, Jerry Goffin song." And, there was just this awkward silence, and I could sense that about 10 degrees of the steam meter that he had for me went dipped a bit, and I remember he was saying, "Well, then what am I doing that song tonight? I mean, I wanted to do that song, I said, "Well, yeah, you could do that song. I mean, a lot of people are doing songs that aren't necessarily mine, but are songs that I recorded, like On My Own. Patty and I are doing that, and." So I tried to make him feel okay about it, and I could tell he was disappointed, So anyway, then I was thinking to myself, if my friends could see me now, Ray's yelling at me, in his trailer, about doing this song tonight. But he performed that night, and again, it was a thrill, and I always felt like maybe he was a little disappointed after having heard that, and. But his engineer and I, stayed in touch, and I was lucky enough to get the call a few months later, maybe almost a year later. And his engineer said, "Hey, Ray wants you to come down, and we're doing this record." And it turned out to be the last record Ray made, Genius Loves Company. And he said, "Ray wants to cut Hey Girl with you." So I drove to L.A. and got to hang with Ray, and we got to be, in just that day, in a couple of days we worked together. Good friends, and I realized that he had forgiven me for not having written that song, and that we had this mutual song in common that we both loved so much. Probably one of the prettiest songs ever written, and so having gotten the chance to stand in front of a 40-piece orchestra on a sound stage with Ray Charles at the mic and sing this song was to me something I can hardly explain. It was like a dream I had sometime in my youth or something. But I will forever cherish that moment. So tonight I'm going to dedicate this song to Ray, our favorite song by Carole King and Jerry Goffin. Hey girl, I want you to know I'm gonna miss you so much if you go. Hey girl, tell you no lie, something deep inside of me is going to die. This is so long, this is goodbye. Oh, hey girl, this can't be true. How supposed to exist without you? Hey girl, don't put me on. How am I supposed to exist when you're gone? How will I live? How can I go on? How can I go on? Sit yourself down. I'm not afraid to get down on the ground. And babe, beg you to stay. Don't go. So, Hey Girl. It's truly a beautiful song. Written by two of the greatest songwriters ever. Jerry Goffin and Carole King. This next song I'm going to do for you, I wrote with a friend of mine, a guy I became friends with for life from the first time we met. It was a recommendation by Quincy Jones that I write a song with him for his upcoming solo record. And his name was James Ingram. He was already well known as having sung a song on one of Quincy's records and sung a song with Patty Austin, timeless tracks all by themselves. And but James was about to do a solo record, and Quincy was producing, and so I was jumped at the chance to do this, and we met, and turns out we wrote 3 songs before we got one that Quincy actually liked, and I thought was good enough for the record, and I'm so glad that he put us through the hoops, because we would have never written the song otherwise. But I got to do a duet with James on it. I never do the song that I don't think about him these days. Truly a unique and wonderful human being, James Ingram. I miss him very much, and a lot of people do. Song entitled Yamo Be There.